CRYPTILIANs and crypto crackheads. Today is Tuesday, August 31st, 2021, and this is going to be a Bepro and Bepro related video. So let's start off with not playing the Altruistic Crypto Adventure Show trailer on 1.5 times speed. I played this a little bit too quickly last time, and I'm going to leave links down in the description section to go check out this channel so you can be a little inspired to, once you are raking in profits when the Bitcoin and crypto market turns a little to full-blown bull market, that you can see how other people are utilizing their profits to help out other folks in less fortunate situations. And I might use this, what we see here on the screen right now, as the thumbnail, because Crypto Rodeo Show is another crypto YouTube content creator whom I support. He's been a long-term member of the community, and I've I guess shilled his channel a couple times throughout Twitter and all that stuff. So let's start off with this, and then I'll get into some content, and tags should be down here if you already saw this. So let's play.
The Altruistic Crypto Adventure Show, and they're getting 1 million shillings worth of Bepro.
It was 1 million shillings worth of Bepro, but it's big crazy.
He's taking one tomorrow.
This is the guy from the Crypto Rodeo Show. He blocked me on Twitter. Says I'm a scammer. What is exponential moving average? What is a monetary coin? We're going to give away the rest of those water filters. Market went even lower since I filmed this intro. I'm just going to continue to buy Bepro, because I'll tell you what are candles? What are wicks? I want to thank the Safe Moon community for being so dope. It's a big reality slap for me. Your portfolio doubles, it quadruples. What is happening here? How is this going to change the world? Is it a sophisticated global digital Ponzi scheme? Look who it is. On an actual ads, no electricity, there's no running water. You have more money than you've ever had. Something like this happens and it all goes back. Like, they don't have refrigerators. There's nothing there. If you're watching YouTube right now, chances are that you have a huge amount of amenities that you don't even realize.
All right, there we go. Altruistic Crypto Adventure Show. That's the trailer for season 2. There are a couple seasons with more to be released, so go ahead and check that out. Let's jump into, and this is part of the Bepro driven community here. So let's jump into Bepro, see what we got going on, and I'm going to make the analysis a little bit faster this time because I have the same exact targets as my last video on this. So if you want more specific reasonings for downside targets, which you can actually see on my screen how I came up with them, go ahead and check out my previous videos with the Bepro and POLKDEX and Polkamarkets thumbnail. So Bepro right now is hanging out between its daily 21 and daily 10. So what could it, so you got a couple things that could end up happening here is, if I take off price, a common play here is that the daily 10 moving average comes and scrapes alongside the 21. So if I can make this red, and then the 21 mostly keeps its slope. That is a pretty common play, and what that could mean for price is a few wicks, maybe 1 or 2 closures below the 21, which could have Bepro staying just under a penny, but not much lower. So that would be one play, but I would say there's a strong chance Bepro skims under a penny at bare minimum. So that's one play. Or if this cross ends up happening, then I would suspect that Bepro will come down and wick to touch its daily 200. That would be my guess there. And so right now, you know, the whole market's kind of sitting and waiting with Ethereum popping, but Bitcoin not popping. So this is anything that Bepro is going to do, or any of these coins I'm covering right now, are going to depend on what Bitcoin does. And so check out my Bitcoin video from yesterday and perhaps today to see what my thoughts are on Bitcoin, to better get a gauge on where Bepro might come in. So let's look at the 12-hour chart on Bepro. You do have this bearish cross happen on the 12-hour chart. So let's go back in time, and so that's the 10 moving average and the 21 moving average on Bepro. And to be honest with you, during that whole pump, it never crossed. Never crossed, never crossed, never crossed, never crossed. When it does cross, it's had historically some pretty solid continuation. So from this one to when it crossed again was 100 days. From here to here was only 18 days. So that could actually end up being a play. Could just do a pretty bullish consolidation in that direction. So I guess that's a possibility as well. So that one is kind of an exception, which might be what ends up happening. But a lot of these have gotten a ton of continuation here. So this cross here got, I mean, pretty much continuation all the way down for 108 days. So this cross could have the potential of being nasty. However, there is one reiteration of this where things just kind of consolidated and, you know, Bepro might stay hovering around a penny. That's completely possible. These would be the two plays I'd be looking for. 12-hour chart looks like a pretty good chart to be using on Bepro. So if you haven't tried the 12-hour chart with just these two EMAs, that might be where it's at. And you might want to poke on there something like the 200 as well, because that's a pretty, let me see how much price has played with the 200. Yeah, it's played with an okay amount, I guess. Let's see here. Let me actually try to make sure that this is an okay suggestion for you, looking at the 200 as well for a potential downside target. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this play right here, the bullish, more bullish resolution of that bearish cross, price did just dip a little bit below the 12-hour 200 EMA, and it went about 20% below it. So let's say in a couple days, or let's say in a week, so something like this, the 200 EMA is up there. So I will measure from there, let's say 25%, and that would bring it to my first target, which is 0.007. So those are the cases that I have going on right there. Let's look at, what was it, XED, which has recently formed some type of partnership with, well, since we're on kind of like NFTs and stuff, because XED's NFTs and Bepro's getting NFTs, OMI, independent of Bitcoin, right? So I have the idea that the whole market might have a, I didn't mean to cover OMI, but this is what I have up, and it's actually, the chart looks great. This is one of my favorite, times to like get interested in buying a coin, especially if we were in a bullish market. But this is monster respect for the weekly 10 EMA. I'm on the weekly chart. That's the 10. 21 just got populated because it's a young asset. So this is a mad amount of respect. I love that setup. I like when it just stays around it, keeps testing, hovers right under it. You know, in the first breakout doesn't go to the moon. It just, you know, it comes right. It looks like it's going to ride it for a few more weeks, and it could really blast off if the rest of the market allows for it. You know, there's no big downturn. But if there were a big downturn on OMI, I would just say it comes back and down and hits this line at 0.0023. I don't think it would go very far. I think it would just fill out this range here, this horizontal range. So that's what I got for me. But let's go to XED here, which recently released news alongside Bepro, which might be associated with this pop here. Go to the daily chart. So it looks like it came up and met this horizontal right on the dot. I would imagine that aligns with, is this too young to have any weekly stuff on here? No, it is not. So you got this really massively bullish cross here of the red and yellow, which the red going above the yellow is a pretty bullish thing, and it front ran it. So what might happen on this coin, it comes back down to test this cross. It's among the most commonplace in all of crypto. After you get this a front run of the bullish cross without much respect for the cross itself, you just kind of like front run it and fly past it. The vast majority of times you do come down and test it. So I would say, and you have a horizontal here. So this actually isn't that, but honestly, the TA on this is nothing's easy, but relative to things that are hard, that's a pretty clear signal. I would really be targeting 50 cents. That would be where I would want to snag it, somewhere around 50 cents or exactly at 50 cents, and which would be perfectly logical on an EMA non-horizontal standpoint, because that would mean wicks right below it. So honestly, I would be looking at the weekly chart on this asset, XED, ticker XE as in Edward, D as in David. So let's go to Polkamarkets. it had a recent blast off. I took the rest, so I 75 bagged it about here on that wick, right here, kind of anticipating a move down on Bitcoin, which didn't end up happening quite yet, and it popped again. So I did the rest of the 25 bag. I took my profits. I ended up I had bought it at about 42 cents. So with 75% of it, I took, you know, pretty small amount of profit, but it's something. What did I do? 52 cents, something like that. 16% increase, and then. Is that from 42? Yeah, no, that's not from 42. Let me do it from 42 cents because that's where I bought it. And then I sold it right as it was wicking at this. So 40% profit with 25%, that's not bad. However, I easily could have taken profits, you know, a lot too early, which that's fine. I'm fine with taking profits too early, but my profit taking area for this still is here. However, per my Bitcoin analysis, I really think Wednesday has a strong chance of being a pretty strong red day. So I have my doubts whether or not Polk will make it to this before a correction happens. But if a correction is delayed, which it absolutely could be for another week, you could bet your bottom dollar that, I mean, not financial advice, but it would be a good thought to try to take profits in this box area, and I have it listed here, which I did for my community as well. So you're essentially seeing information that I posted to my community a few days back, and that's what we got going on for here. So let's go to Polkamarkets. Or no, PolkaDEX, sorry, PDEX. I'm already on Polkamarkets. Very young asset. All right, so you have, it's trying to close above a pretty big horizontal actually here. And it's its third attempt to get above it. So 1, 2, 3, kind of fourth attempt. And if the 12, let's go to the daily. If the daily 10 EMA can squeeze price above that horizontal, it's probably going to fly. And it'll probably come up, I would say, a price target. I'll be right there, buddy. You can go ahead and start the car, get in it. I would have a price target for selling around 39 bucks and 30 cents. However, I would actually put some limit orders between those wicks and that candle bodies where I'm hovering over right now on the daily. So I would say something to this effect here, between 33 and, let's say between 33 and almost 40 bucks. I would try to take profits, depending on when you get in. If you got in it now, for example, trying to play this, which I'm not necessarily suggesting, you know, that you'd be on average over 50% trade, which would be pretty good if that were to happen. It doesn't have to squeeze above here, but if it does, that would be my price target. And so I'm going to keep this one short. So go ahead and check out the link that I left down below in regard to the Altruistic Crypto Adventure Show. And peace out. Y'all just got Timified.